Ethics in science. I worked in a company doing testing every day, and I tested things like cheese, milk, ice cream, other things for the fat content. And I had to have, and each time I did it, each day I had to take a cheese sample that was that thing and test that thing twice to make sure what my account was for that, how much fat is in that hunk of cheese. What happened to be at that time American Singles was a good test thing, and each day a new box would come in and you would pull out of that thing and you would test 10 grams of it and or a syringe of it, and as that thing, it turned out to be 30% fat every day. It had to be. If there wasn't, then it set off a red flag. And I tested everything. I was the position where I was. If the computer said it was that much fat in the product, that's how much fat's in the product. A couple of times I got questioned. One woman came in and said, I don't see this. I got this here. It doesn't make any sense. I got all these, but what's wrong with this one? Well, I said, oh, I'll retest it. So I retested. And she's watching me, and she's watching me, and she's watching me. And computer says, yep, that's what the computer says. That's the readout. That's how much fat's in that pan. And she says, oh, walks out. It's a ringer. Something they put in there, or she put in there to make sure that I'm honest. And that's the thing, of course. I'm not going to cheat and lose my job. But in the science field, when COVID-19 came out back in 2020, within 6 months there were 20,000 white papers on the subject. Oh? Submitted to scientific journals. Oh? Did they find a solution to the plague? No. Were a lot of each stuff that was generated the same? Yes. AI was out at that time. Yes. And you could look at the findings and the subject. AI was out, and they would basically write a couple pages of this, and they would give the reference, all the same. Half of these looked like they were made by AI. That thing, and that's the big problem in the science world. Is did you put down what you found out or what the AI punched out? Now they have zero AI, which they can look at the results, the paper, and saying it was written by AI, because many times the AI will give reference to things that don't exist. Give books, page numbers, notes to. Yes, it's kind of like, you're cheating? You're going to really cheat on this one. And it's in my world, I had to verify that everything I run, it will come out as the same the next time I run it, which the cheese was 30% fat. And that's a backup. That was a computer generated. This is it, folks. This is their calculations. This is it. Yes. Because if I had to calculate, it's the same thing. It give me what's in the syringe, what's on the pan, what's the final results is. many scientific papers, there isn't that second run. Like, there is not that verification of how you did it. When I take a chemistry test, they ask me, give me equation here and a final equation there, and they want everything listed in it between the beginning of something and the final one. They want all the equations down. Because I have, sitting in a chemistry class and see one of the classes I sat in showed me the equation and the final answer and all the stuff in that thing, and I said, I'm not passing this class. I'm not, this test, so I went from a C to, a D. Most of it was A and B, C and D, or fail. I failed the test. It was too hard at that thing. Because when you start passing around answers, I don't want that. And the same thing in the science world. Can you verify what you have put down as being real? Like the room temperature semiconductor, room temperature fusion reaction. Right. Or why this aspirin will work. That's why in the science world, to verify, you may have to run the test dozens of times, hundreds of times. And I like seeing this stuff on TV or on the internet. Yes, sir, clinical trials. How many was in the clinical trials? 4 people? Wow. Yes. Well, yeah. Hey, pharmacies basically have clinical trials where they have hundreds of people, and the reason for that, if they bring out a new drug, you have hundreds of people. You have to find out all the side effects of your new drug. Aspirin does have its side effects. Some people get sick on aspirin. Majority of the people don't get sick on aspirin. But, aspirin is aspirin. And when you have a new drug out there, you run it through the clinical trials to find out what the side effects are. And if you have anything, will come with a long list of what can go wrong. And I guess the final thing that can go wrong if you take this drug and you have a reaction is you die. Well, I think I'm going to keep the pain. But, yeah. So, as I said, when I was in their thing, I had to record down everything in it. Many people had books in that thing. Everything I did when I was working for the Department of Defense, I put down everything in that I did for a reaction. When I was in graduate school, I had to put down every chemical I use and what the reaction that would be. Right. Or what is it toxin? Is it corrosive? And things like that down in the book. Because if there was an accident in the lab, they wanted to check back. That's basically it.